Now, Your Honor, I simply must object. If you direct your attention to Exhibit Q, part number 105, you'll see that my client has full privileges and rights to the E minor chord, and Metallica owes him exactly $1.7 billion. Hails, minions and mortals, this is Fang from Lords of the Trident, and today we have our first viewer-submitted question. One of our viewers writes, "Hey Fang bro, love the videos man, question for you, alright? My band is just about to release our first album, it's gonna kick ass, but we want to make sure that we protect ourselves so that our songs don't get stolen. So like, what's the best way to go about like copywriting our music?" Thanks for the question. Now, I'm going to answer this in two parts because I have a rather controversial opinion about this. But first, let me answer the basic question. How do you copyright your music? Well, it's very simple. First, take your phone and open up a recording app of your choice and hit record and then play your song. That's it. The law says that as soon as you've recorded your music onto something tangible, even if it's only a digital cell phone recording, you own a form of copyright on that song. You could also record the song to your computer or write down the music notation on staff paper, basically whatever. As long as the song exists somewhere tangible outside of your own head, you own the copyright on that song, and no one else can use the song without your permission. This form of copyright is sometimes referred to as weak copyright because there are no official documents proving that you indeed own the copyright. Now, if you wanted to upgrade that copyright from weak to Arnold Schwarzenegger, you would have to register the copyright with the US Copyright Office, or if you're in Canada, the Royal Office of Copyright and Poutine Ownership. That doesn't sound right. That Wikipedia article was edited pretty recently. Now, you can't copyright a song title or a chord progression, but you can copyright an entire musical work, i.e. both the music and the lyrics, or just the music, or just the lyrics. Registering a song costs $35 if you do it online, or $85 if you fill out a paper form and mail it to the Copyright Office. So what does a music copyright, either weak or strong, allow you to do? Well, if you own the copyright to a song, you may make and distribute copies of the song on sheet music, records, tapes, CDs, and certain digital media. You can also have the exclusive right to make and distribute the first sound recording of the song. Once the first recording has been distributed, other people can make and distribute additional recordings, but they must obtain a mechanical license for the song and pay a royalty fee. If someone wants to record the song onto a video or motion picture, they must obtain a synchronization license. 2. Prepare derivative works, including new arrangements. 3. Perform the song and authorize others to perform it. If someone else wants to play your song for an audience, they must obtain a public performance license and pay you royalties. This applies whether the song is performed live or played on radio, television, over the internet, or on a music streaming service. And finally, display the song, whatever that means. Now, if you've created a 10-song album and you register all the copyrights online, it would cost you about $350 for the whole album to register all the copyrights. Now, I would argue that the biggest benefit of copyright ownership is the ability to collect royalties on the performance, sync, and mechanical licenses. But most bands that register copyrights online are actually doing it because they're thinking of this nightmare scenario. Alright, let's see here, boys. Metallica needs a new single, and they need it fast. I guess I'll just go on the old internet box here, and oh, what's this? A little unknown band called Putrid Cattle Fart just released a new single. Let's have a listen here. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is a real humdinger. Well, I guess they won't mind if I just... You're worried that another band, big or small, will take credit for your work. You're worried they'll steal your song, turn it into a #1 hit, make millions of dollars, and you'll never see a penny. That's why you're asking the question, right? Well, here's where Fang's controversial opinion comes into play. You should not waste your time or money officially copywriting your music. Wait, what? Okay, I know this might be a little confusing, but hear me out. There are a few reasons why I think the couple of hours and $350 that you're about to spend are not going to help you in any way. Let's break it down. First, stealing full songs doesn't really happen anymore, and even in the past, it was pretty rare. Thanks to the internet, there's a pretty good paper trail that would prevent the fictional, unscrupulous writers working for Beyoncé from directly stealing your music. Now, there's nothing stopping them from taking your chord progression or your general music idea, changing a few notes, maybe changing the key or the tempo, and repackaging it, and there really shouldn't be. Music isn't created in a vacuum, and taking inspiration from other artists' ideas is not a crime. Plus, the music writers working for major labels or major artists are not stupid enough to take your song, note for note, word for word, and hand it directly to Metallica. Second, most of your songs are bad. I'm sorry, but pretty much every band that has ever asked me, how do we copyright our music, are writing 4 chord chugs with lyrics about how much they hate their dads. If you don't believe me, take a slog through the metal listings on Bandcamp or Reverb Nation for any major city. Most of the bands that are actually getting somewhere are more interested in writing new material, investing money in good recordings, properly publicizing their releases, and practicing, rather than spending the time to copyright their songs. $350 may not seem like a lot of money, but to a band trying to increase their draw outside of their home city, that's a lot of gas for the van. Now, I'm not a lawyer, this is not legal advice, but in my opinion, once you get to the point where you should actually be worried about getting an official copyright for your music, you're going to be big enough where a manager or a label is going to do that for you without you even asking. Third, the weak form of copyright still allows you to collect royalties and licenses off of all of your music. We've collected royalties off of all of our releases without any official copyrights, and it's not much, but it's something. Finally, let's say the nightmare scenario happens. Somebody steals your music, note for note, word for word, and it turns into a giant hit for, I don't know, Metallica. Even if you have the original copyright registered, you're still gonna have to take them to court. And I know what you're thinking. Easy money for a lawyer, open and shut case, right? But remember, you're going to be fighting an army of very smart and very talented record industry lawyers that exist for the sole purpose of finding any hole in your story, any error on your copyright form, and any possible way that they can get out of awarding you any money. You're going to have to retain a lawyer for yourself, which is probably going to cost you about 10 grand. And yeah, you'll probably get that back if you win, but you're still going to have to temporarily come up with the cash to cover your lawyer's expenses and time. And I don't know any band that's sitting on 10 grand. The court case will be long and drawn out. Sometimes it'll go for years, and the lawyers on the record label side will try everything to extend and stall and try to get you to quit. After all, they've got the money and the time on their side, and they're betting that you don't. And honestly, you don't. Call me cynical, but those Hollywood court endings just don't happen. If you win, you're going to win after years and years of fighting and tens of thousands of dollars invested, but you probably won't win. It's just going to be another case of a big company screwing over the little guy. Is it just? Is it fair? Hell no, it's not. But life isn't fair, and terrible people get away with being terrible all the time. That time and money would be much better invested writing more music rather than fighting a case that you're probably going to lose anyway. I know it all seems like doom and gloom, but remember, this is almost certainly never going to happen. And in the insanely unlikely event that it does, use the publicity. Call out the band and the record label publicly. Do it on YouTube and get eyes and ears on your music and your project instead of wasting money in court. Case adjourned. I want to hear what you think about music copyright. Do you think you can change my mind? If so, let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and if you want to donate to the Lords of the Trident Music Stealing Defense Fund, jump on our Patreon today at patreon.com/Lords of the Trident. We'll see you next time.